guys, I just finished filming an updated foundation routine for you. I had gotten a couple requests for this video, so I thought I would sit down and show you my day-to-day routine. It's definitely a glowy and perfect flawless finish, so if you're interested to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Getting started, I'm going to be taking the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Liquid Foundation and a little bit of the Bare Minerals Perfecting Face Brush. I really like this brush. It was designed for liquid foundations, and it has this perfect little hole in the center. That way you can just put your liquid products right in there. And a little trick for dewier and a more glowy skin tone at the end that I like to do is mix a little bit of the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow Liquid Highlighter in the shade Free. So with one pump of the Bare Pro Liquid Foundation and one pump of the liquid highlighter, I'm just going to start to evenly disperse the foundation before I begin to blend it in. So I'll make a few stripes on each cheek, a little on the chin, nose, forehead, and then from there I'll start to blend it further into the skin. Once I have a little bit of the product off of my brush, I like to blend it down right underneath my neck. Now that we're all blended, I'm going to be taking the Bare Pro concealer stick, and I'm just going to draw a perfect triangle underneath the eyes and use that as my basis to brighten. If you had any areas you wanted to spot treat, you would want to do that at this time as well. I like to make sure before I go in with my setting powder that any liquid products that I'm going to be using, for the most part, except for like a liquid highlighter or something of that sorts, have already been applied, and I'm having a few breakouts right there, so I'm going to cover that. And hormonally, we all kind of get red around the nose, so I'm going to cover that as well. I'm taking the Bare Minerals Complexion Perfector brush. It's just a really nice large concealer brush, so you can cover a lot of ground. I'm just going to start to work that in. And on areas you're trying to spot treat or cover specific areas, such as a blemish or a dark spot, you want to make sure that you press it into the skin versus dragging it, because dragging it is going to move it away from where you wanted it to be, and we place it there for a reason. So pressing it kind of allows it to soak into the skin and make sure it doesn't move or slide throughout the day. So you saw me press in those areas. Now when I start under the eyes, initially I like to get it up as close to the lash line as possible, because I don't want to have a big line underneath when we start with our shadow. And then I'll drag it out and kind of do back and forth like we did when we blended that foundation, just to make sure we're smooth out there. But then once I've dragged it into this inner corner, I really start to press. Now taking the Bare Pro pressed powder from Bare Minerals along with their Supreme Finisher brush, and we actually have a brush that's very similar to this one in our holiday kit, and mine is a limited holiday kit from the past, which is why it has that rose gold packaging. But any large fluffy brush is what you want to use, because we have to set our liquid foundation to make sure it doesn't slide throughout the day or move from where we placed it, but you also don't want to get a powdery look after we've applied a liquid foundation, to kind of keep everything nice and natural. So I'm just applying it very softly and blending it in the circular motions like we applied that foundation. And I'm going to do that until I get to the under eye area, and then when it's time for me to set the under eye area, you'll see me press rather than drag. And the purpose of that and not swirling is that when we press it, like when we did the blemish down here, it sets it really deep into the skin so that it doesn't move throughout the day, and it'll stay in the place that you put it. Now taking the Bare Minerals Warmth Bronzer, mine is clearly on its very last leg, and the Bare Minerals Dual Finish Blush and Contour Brush on the dark side, I'm going to start to bronze and do like a lazy girl contour, you could say, I guess, because I don't do a harsh contour. But starting on the cheekbone, because that's where we want most of the product to be, I'm just going to start to blend that all the way up, going in circular motions. Then once most of the product is off my brush, I'll start to work it up to my forehead and then bring it down to my chin. And then I was always taught that anytime you're using bronzer, you want to do like the E or the 3, and it will depend on which side you're working on. Now taking the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blush in the shade Blurred Buff, which is my favorite blush shade of all time. It's just a perfect neutral. I'm going to be applying that with the Bare Minerals Blooming Blush Brush, which is also in our Christmas kit along with that fluffier brush that I used for my setting powder. I love these blushes because the Bounce and Blur line kind of has like a cream to powder effect. So it goes on in the pan, it feels very creamy. You can apply it on top of powder without it messing anything up. And this color specifically just gives you the perfect wash without adding any redness. And since my skin tone naturally has a lot of redness, it's something that I like to try to hide. So that's why this is my favorite blush. Okay, and then the last step is I like to go in. I alternate between using the pressed and the liquid. We have both pressed and liquid available, so if the liquid products kind of intimidate you, know that pressed is available in the exact same shade. But I'm going back in with my Bare Pro Liquid Glow in the shade Free, and I'm going to use that to highlight the tops of my cheekbones. I just put it directly on my highlighter brush like so, and then I just start to make little dots, kind of like we did with the foundation, wherever I'm going to want this product to go. So I'm just putting a little bit on the top of each cheekbone, a little bit on the cupid's bow, tiny bit on the nose, the very tip of the nose, and then I like to do right above each brow. And in the summer times, a lot of time you'll see me do the collarbone and my shoulders as well. But today I have on long sleeves. I'll probably still do my collarbones when I catch up my eyes. So then I just start to blend that back and forth. The reason that I'm really liking the liquid highlighter versus the pressed at the moment is because I find it just looks so much more natural on the skin than the pressed. And I'm all about trying to keep it looking as much like your skin as possible. And so I just find the liquid highlighter really helps to just make it look like there's nothing but your skin glowing from within. That would be how I would do my full face. So I'm going to catch up my eyes and brows, and then I'm going to show you guys my last and most important. Okay, you guys, so I'm back and I've caught everything else up, and the last and final tip that I would give you guys for the perfect dewy skin is setting spray. I love to use a liquid foundation, but in order to make it stay in place, it also needs to be set with some type of powder. So at the end, to make everything look like your skin again, I like to set all over with the setting spray, which takes the look of powder away and just leaves you with that perfect dewy glow. Complete this perfect flawless foundation video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe, and if you have any recommendations on future videos you would like to see, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. Every product that I use I'll be listing for you guys, and I thank you for watching. Bye.